2.5 years ago, I weighed 270 pounds. I had just been giving myself permission to slide for too long. But after one doctor's visit, that kind where they start talking about prescriptions for high blood pressure, I had said enough. Instead of adding pills to manage symptoms from bad habits, I chose to change the habits. As I went from struggling to being able to keep up with a local running group and then more, I gave myself permission again and again to set bigger personal goals. And a lot has changed since. One thing I've learned is that endurance takes a mental clarity. When that why is clear, consistency follows. And consistency moves the needle. It moves hard things into reach, and sometimes it even makes them extra meaningful and fun. And apparently I decided to test that by going from 7 marathons to 9. We're skipping the 8th because 2 came back to back. The 50th anniversary of the Marine Corps Marathon followed 6 days later by the New York City Marathon. And before that, I ran the Paine to Paine, just to ramp up. A lot of fun, but one of the steeper trail half marathons near the X-Men's Mansion in Westchester, New York. That's 65 race miles in 21 days. Experts and non-experts will agree. This is not a smart schedule. Some parts of pulling this off were exciting, and some parts I wish had been. And this also wasn't happening in a vacuum. I still had work, relationships, family, real life. There are plenty of in-between days that did not feel exciting at all, which is strange because these events, these races are incredible. Over those 21 days, it would be dishonest just to pretend that motivation was constant. I found that everything mattered: food, sleep, foot placement, stress. Tired bodies negotiate. And sometimes I was lucky to feel like, alright, I'm doing this anyway. I'll say there was also a little bit of social resistance too, even from people close to me. Interestingly, I found that the pushiest voices were from those who don't run, and I don't blame them. The risk here is real. 2.5 marathons without true recovery carries consequences. There isn't much data on schedules like this because very few people attempt them. 65 race miles is sustained load that would break concrete. It adds literal tons of stress to connective tissue, and it demands a recovery debt that will stack faster than it can be repaid. There are many ways with this ending with me walking or breaking. That became clear. But there's also another side that made this much more of a test of something else.
All right. Nice job. How's it going?
Who are you? My name's Eric. You're really hot.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Good. My number is 917.
Much more than pain, masochism, or survival. I have been running consistently for nearly 2.5 years, and I've learned from that, just like how fighters condition joints through controlled impact, endurance forces biological adaptation over time. I handled this schedule far better than I handled my first marathon 10 years ago. Durability isn't raw talent, it's adaptation. This schedule also came on the heels of the Sydney Marathon, and I just want to point out that matters, because even at the elite level, 2 of the best, Eliud Kipchoge and Safan Hassan, also both ran Sydney and then New York. And despite the break, both were slower in New York. It's almost like the science will show that marathon efforts take months to recover from. So, this was never about PRs, it was about consistency, holding a hard but sustainable pace that would let me enjoy as much of these experiences as possible without walking it in. And I wanted to be able to work the next day with everything intact. This schedule became that 21-day test, where smart decisions had diminishing returns and mistakes got amplified over time. It has been a couple of months now, and I'm still thinking about it. Not just about running, but about energy, about loving what you love even when the motivation ebbs and flows, about choosing the right challenges. So in the next few videos, I'm going to break down my big, ridiculous challenge, one that very few people should attempt, and what it actually took to run 65 race miles in 21 days across 3 of the most American races that I've ever loved.